what is the step number one? Step number one is to select the longest chain. Number one, select the longest chain of the carbon atom. Number two, mark the numbering on the longest chain. Number three, allocate the branches. Number four, allocate or specify the functional group. So basically, generally, these are the main, these 3 to 4 steps. And finally, there are 5 portions of a name of any organic compound. So in this case, how many carbons are there in the longest chain? So the first proposition is to select the longest chain. So there are 3 carbons in the longest chain. So in this case, for example, I'm marking Cl over here. Now, what is the name of this compound? Here are basically 3 continuous chain of carbon. Longest chain is equal to 3, and there is no branch. But I mean, there is no branch, but there is presence of functional group. Now, keep in your mind that halogenoalkanes or halogen functional group is treated like a branch. I'm going to repeat my words again. Haloalkanes are halogenoalkanes where there is the presence of halo group. This halo group is treated like a branch. So I'm going to mark numbering and then I will write its name at the place of branch. This is carbon number 1, this is carbon number 2, this is carbon number 3. This carbon is basically said to be numbered as carbon number 1. Why? Because it is more closer to the branch, or it is more closer to the functional group. So carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3. Now what will be its name, as there is no branch other than this Cl, and the name of Cl will be written first. Again, although it is a functional group, but it is treated like a branch. Just keep in your mind. So I'm going to write 1 dash chloro. Whenever you are going to write the name of any halogen, chloro, you will write bromo, iodo, fluoro, and so on. So 1 chloro, that is a portion of this functional group. Then you will write the name of the longest chain, that is prop. 3 carbons are there. All carbons are single bond. No double bond is over here. And boom, this is the name of a halogenoalkane functional group, I mean homologous series, and its proper name is 1-chloropropane. Come towards an other example. So Ci3, CH, Cl, CH2, and CH3. Once again, the rules are pretty similar. Number 1, you will select the longest chain of carbon atom. Longest chain of carbon, continuous carbons, 1, 2, 3, 4. All carbon atoms are lying in the longest chain. Once again, here is the functional group that is going to be treated as a branch. Number 2, mark the numbering from that end of the chain, which is more closer to the functional group or branch. This is the more closer end. 1, it's 2, it's 3, and it's 4. Now it's time to write the name of the compound. And what is its compound name? Name is 2-Cl, chloro. 2-chloro. How many carbons are there? 4 carbons are there. So bute, and all carbons are single bond. I mean, there is no any double bond. So you will write in butane. 2-chloro-butane is the name of this compound. Come towards another example.
सर 7 फरार हो गया.
अच्छा, okay, कोई बात नहीं.
Yes,
Just
sir.
have a look. In this case, Ci3, there are basically 3 methyl group over here and 1 Cl is over here. Once again, you will select the longest chain. And this carbon must be the part of the longest chain. So let me know which one is the longest chain.
सर
This one
what
is the longest chain. And now this time, this CH3 group is acting as a branch. Is acting as a branch, and this is the functional group.
सर बताता हूँ सर टू क्लोरो मिथाइल और ये सर होगा तीन वाला कौन सा होता है
अच्छा मैं बताता हूँ एक बात, एक तो आप थोड़ा
पेंटाइल
माइक से थोड़ा दूर होके बैठे, आपकी
ओके
वॉइस
सर
बहुत ना ज्यादा आ रही है. थैंक यू. Number one, I'm going to mark numbering number one. This is carbon number one, this is carbon number two, and this is carbon number three. So what is the number of branch? Two. What is the number of functional group? Also two. So again, I told you that this haloalkane or halogenoalkanes, this halogen is going to be treated like a branch. So this is called chloro. Its name is chloro, and its name is methyl. So there are basically two branches. One is chloro, other one is methyl. C comes first in alphabet. So I'm going to write chloro. What is its position? Its number is equal to 2. 2 chloro dash 2 again dash methyl 2 chloro 2 methyl. Longest chain is having 3 carbon probe, and all carbon carbon are a single bond in. 2 chloro 2 methyl propane is the name of this compound. So general rules hain. I mean, all rules are general, similar, same. There is slight difference for each different type of homologous series or different type of functional group, but the major main rules are quite same or similar. Same is the case I'm going to take this time for two halo group compound, and here it is. You will let me know what is the name of this functional, organic compound. What is the name of this compound? First of all, you will mark the longest chain. How many carbons are there? Three carbons are there. Now the next step is to mark numbering. From where to start numbering? From right hand side or from left hand side? If I'm going to mark numbering from right to left, it's carbon number one, it's carbon number two, it's carbon number three. So 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. Overall sum of the branches, sum of the functional group is equal to 3. And if I'm going to mark numbering from left to right, then it is 1, this carbon is 2, this carbon is 3. One seal is present at 2, second seal present at 3, the sum is equal to 5. Highest sum will not be preferred. Smallest sum is preferred basically, and in this way we will start numbering from right hand side. So what will be its name, generally speaking? As I told you, these are also treated like the branch or branches. So there are two similar branches. One, second one is at 2, 1 comma 2. If there are more than one or more than two branches and they are similar branches, then you will write comma in between them. 1 comma 2 dash di mean 2 chloro 1 2 dichloro. Longest chain is having 3 carbon probe. There is no double bond, then I will write in. So the name of this compound is 1 2 dichloro probe in. This is the very important nomenclature as far as my opinion is concerned. Basically, whenever you are going to make the different isomers, then you will have to make the name, you will have to make the different structure of these sort of isomerism, so as to check that either they are two or the different compound, they are two same or two different compounds. So basically, whenever you are going to differentiate between two organic compound, the specific way or the authentic way is to give their names, right? If they are having same molecular formula, same carbon, same hydrogen, same other elements, but if they're having different names, if they are having different names, then simply it means they are isomers of each other. But if they are having same name as well, as the molecular formula of the compounds are same, if their name is also same, then they are not isomers. Then they are not isomer. So that is the basic key, absolute authentic key to diagnose or to count the different structural isomers, especially structural isomerism needs nomenclature, proper, accurate nomenclature. If you're unable to give the name any compound properly, then you might be you face a lot of difficulties while diagnosing or counting the total number of isomers. Now I'm switching towards the next functional group. Uh, the next functional group, in my opinion, as in this arrangement, you can see it over here. And I mean, here it's carbonyl group or carbonyl compound. We talked about alkene. Today we talked about halogens. Previously, we talked about alcohol armine hydroxyl functional group, and now this is turned for carbonyl, I mean aldehyde and ketone. How to give the name of aldehyde is a very, very easy, relatively easy as compared to the other different molecules or organic compounds. So just have a look. For example, I'm having once again aldehyde. For example, I'm having this one aldehyde molecule and CH3 over here, CH3 over here, CH, CH2, and so on. So on. Again, the first step, the common step that is everywhere whenever you are going to diagnose, whenever you are going to write the name of any organic compound, you will select the longest chain first. First of all, select the longest chain of carbon atom. Continuous carbons and functional group carbon must be the part of the longest chain. Functional group carbon must be the part of the longest chain. Select the continuous longest chain, maximum number of carbon atoms, those are present in continuous way, and then we will start numbering. So carbon number one, number two, number three, number four. Let's suppose I'm taking this one longest chain is a four carbon atom. You can take this one as well if you are going to turn to take right turn over here. Yes, it is true. But at the moment, you can take only one methyl group over here. So one methyl group is out of the chain. This is called branch. This is called substituent or branch. So it's branch, and this is the longest chain, and this is the functional group. It's a functional group. And the most, good thing in this case is this carbon will always be carbon number one. In aldehyde, you will start numbering from this carbon, irrespective of all other branches, all other functional group. Basically, you will start numbering if the aldehyde is present in your molecule, especially under normal condition. If no any bulky group or no other major functional group is present, then you will start from this group. This carbon will be carbon number one. This obviously it is carbon number two. This is carbon number three. This is carbon number four, and so on. Now, after numbering, this time to write the name of the compound. Number one, branch. Its number, its name. Its name is methyl. Its number is equal to 3. So I'm going to write 3. 3 hyphen or 3 dash methyl. So that's all about branch. How many carbons are there in the longest chain? 4. For 4 carbon, I'm going to write but. All carbons are single bond. There is no double bond. So I'm going to write in. Plus, I'm going to add this functional group aldehyde. Just first two names are added all. I am going to add all. But as you know, if the vowel word is going to be added up, then we will have to remove this E. Finally, I'm going to remove this E. There is no right, there is no need to write the position of functional group because in this case, aldehyde is always taken at number one position. So it's understood in normal molecule, in molecule that is given in your level of chemistry, the functional group of aldehyde, the functional group of carboxylic acid is always taken is equal to 1. So there is no need to mention the position of functional group. Now, but you will write butanol. So this is the complete name. Name of this compound is 3-methyl butanol. Come towards another example. For example, I'm having C double bond H carbon CH3 CH2 CH3 and CH3. Can you give the name of this compound? Once again, on the same pattern, first of all, you will select the longest chain. This carbon must be the part of the longest chain because it is the carbon of functional group. So, what is the name of this carbon? Sorry, what is the number of total number of functional group in this chain, in this compound? What is? Let me know. Carbon number one, two, three. If I'm going straight away down, there are three carbon on my way. If I'm moving, I'm taking turn towards the right hand side. One, two, again three. Three carbons are there. If I'm taking turn towards the left hand side, starting from the same carbon, one, two, three, four. Here are four carbons. So this is the continuous carbon, longest carbon chain of the carbon atom. So in this case, there are basically two branches. There are two methyl group, you can say. One methyl group is over here, this one, and one is over here. There are the two methyl branches. Numbering will be started from this carbon. Obviously, that is the carbon of functional group, I mean aldehyde. Carbon number one, carbon number two, carbon number three, carbon number four. So I have marked complete numbering on the longest chain. So this is the branch. Its name is methyl. Second branch, its name is also methyl. Same carbon, same hydrogen, and I mean, luckily or unluckily or accidentally, you can say they both are connected with the same carbon. So if there are two branches, both are having same name, then it is necessary to write their positions. And it is also necessary to write them together. So what is the position of this methyl group? It's 2, comma. What is the position of this methyl group? Again 2, same carbon, 2, 2, 2. Let me confirm how much they are in total. They are di. 2, 2 di, 2, 2 di, methyl, 2, 2 di, methyl. That is all about branch section. Now, it's a time to write the name of longest chain. How many carbons are in the longest chain? 4. I'm going to write but. So 2,2-dimethyl but. Here is all carbon carbon single bond in, and I'm going to add all because of aldehyde, and I'm going to remove this E so as the vowel word is going to be added up. So its name will be but 2,2-dimethyl butanol. This is the way to give the name of
Sir,
any aldehyde compound. G. Now the next thing is I'm going to explain ketone. The next functional group is ketone. I mean, ketone is the homologous series, and functional group is basically carbonyl. In ketone, C double bond O, here is carbon, here is an other carbon. So the basic thing is in ketone, C double bond O is present between at least two carbon atoms. I mean, this group is connected from right and from its left with at least one carbon. There may be more than one carbon, there may also be more than one carbon, but this carbonyl group is going to be present between two carbon atoms, right? And I mean, this carbon should have immediate neighbors that must be another carbon, a normal carbon, or even any other functional group carbon, but it should be the carbon. Now, how to give the name of ketone? For example, I'm having simplest, smallest ketone of the universe, that is this one. Again, the first step is same, quite pretty similar. Select the longest chain of carbon atom. Then number two, you will mark numbering. Numbering with respect to will be C double bond O group. It will be started from that end which is closer to the C double bond O. And finally, if there is branch, you will allocate the branches. I mean, highlight the branches. And finally, you will write the name of compound as I told you in my previous lecture. Now, come toward this one. How many carbon are in the longest chain? And once again, keep in mind this carbon must be the part of the longest chain. So here are overall three carbon in the longest chain. And as you can see that there is no any branch present. There is just longest chain, and inside the longest chain there is a functional group. So what is its name? Its longest chain is having three carbon atom. We will write probe. All carbon to carbon are single bond. I'm writing in plus. Because of ketone, we are going to take its last three names, last three word, name of the word, own. So I'm going to write own. But this time you will have to mark, you will have to write its number as well. Carbon number one, carbon number two, carbon number three. So once again, numbering is important. In this case, once again, you have to write the position of functional group. So numbering is important. What is the number of this C double bond O? That is 2. So 2 on. Again, is O. It's a vowel word. So I will have to erase this E. So finally, the name will be probe in dash 2 on. Propane 2 on is the name of this ketone. Got it? G. Asad Malik.
क्या बात है सर, क्या बात है.
सर आगे समझ.
Okay, now come towards another compound. CH3, CH3, CH2, C double bond O, CH3. And here is a CH. So once again, the first step that is always the first one is to select the longest chain. So I'm going to get the longest chain. Here is the longest chain. Carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is the longest chain. This is the branch. I mean, it's not the part of the longest chain. And now I'm going to ask from where to start numbering, from right hand side or from left hand side. From where to start numbering? This is the next basic main proposition.
राइट.
From right hand side, because the functional group carbon is more closer to this end. Carbon number 1, carbon number 2, carbon number 3, carbon number 4, carbon number 5. So generally speaking, I have marked the numbering. The branch is at 4 position, 4 dash methyl. And how many carbons are there in the longest chain? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons are in the longest chain. So I will write pent, 4 methyl pent. There was only one branch at 4. 4 methyl pent. All carbons are single bonds. So I'm going to write in, but not writing E, just AN and dash. What is the position of functional group? That is 2. And I will write on for ketone. So 4 methyl pent in 2 on is the name of this compound. It's also simple method, and I mean it's easy to give the name of compound of any, especially ketone or aldehyde. So these are the two carbonyl group. The next one thing is, I'm going to explain at the moment, that is carboxylic acid, and its functional group name is carboxyl. Carboxyl is the name of its functional group. Again, it's very easy, and you are familiar with the nomenclature of carboxylic acid in your O level chemistry as well. But again, it's very simple. For example, I'm having CH3, CH2, C double bond OH. This group is the functional group of carboxyl. Carboxyl functional group or homologous series is carboxylic acid. And again, this carbon, whenever you are going to mark numbering, this carbon will always be carbon number one. It will be carbon number one. So in this case, I'm going to select the longest chain. One, two, three. Only three carbons, no branch. Three carbons longest chain is carbon number one, is carbon number two, is carbon number three. And you will write the name of the compound. There is no branch. So I'm starting from the chain portion. So pro, for three carbons in the longest chain, all carbon carbon are single bond in the longest chain. I'm going to write in plus. There is no need to write the position for acid, because again, this is, if the alone acid is present in the group, in the compound, it is always stood understood that it will be at position number one. So for this group, we will write OIC acid. So OIC acid is the part of the name that is connected with the name of chain. So again, it's a vowel word, so I will have to remove E. I mean, pro in OIC acid is the name of this compound. For example, there is another compound that is also carboxylic acid, C double bond OH, here CH, CH3, and CH3, and CH3. So first of all, select the longest chain. Again, pehla kam, first proposition is to select the longest chain. And here it is, longest chain. This is the longest chain of the maximum continuous carbon. Maximum continuous carbon. These two are the branches. This one is a branch. This one is a branch. Now I'm going to mark numbering. From where to start numbering? The number of functional group carbon will always be carbon number one. Then obviously it will be carbon number two. This will be carbon number three. And now I am going to write its name. Two branches, by chance they are similar, there are similar branches, both name is methyl, its name is also methyl, and their number is equal to 2. And I'm going to write the name. The last stage, the last portion is to write the name. So 2 comma 2 dash die. I mean, between number you will write comma, between number and alphabet you will write this hyphen or dash. 2 to die, and both branches are methyl. 2 to dimethyl. 2 to dimethyl. Now come toward the longest chain portion. How many carbons? 3 carbons. You will write pro. All carbon carbon are single bond in the longest chain. You will write in. And for carboxylic acid, you will write OIC acid. So I'm going to remove this E. And finally, the name is 2 dash dimethyl, 2 dimethyl propanoic acid. Propanoic acid. This is the final name of a compound. So I think you would be able to give the name of alkene, halogenoalkane, alcohol, aldehyde, ketone, carboxylic acid, etc., etc. There are left I mean, three just more uh, functional groups are left. One is ester, other one is imine, and the last one is nitrile. I think it would be more good if I'm going to take a next lesson for the next three organic compounds nomenclature. Right? That's all about today. Thank you very much.